Well, hello, friends, and welcome back to My Hobby Home. If you are new here, my name is Cathy. Welcome to my sewing room. Just a quick recap of what's been going on. I've been away. I've had no power, and I have it now. Yay. I am working 12-hour shifts currently still. We are still on emergency cruise right now, which is a 12-hour shift, but now instead of midnight to noon, I'm 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. But I have time to get in my sewing room today, and that's what I'm doing. So I have my pieces done to do my X's and O's block. So that's what we're doing. The project that we're working on is the Full Hearts pattern that is out of the Fat Quarter Shop 2026 limited edition Cupid box. And we are just doing it. That's what we're doing. We're getting to sew today. Very, very happy about that. I'm telling y'all, I was about to go stir crazy not being able to be in my sewing room. Well, that doesn't look right. I'm having to try to figure out how to make these match up. Well, I don't have seams that are nesting, but I do have two seams that come together. So I'm going to pin them right in the center of where they come together and hold that together so I can sew these. So friends, how are y'all doing? How are you faring with this cold weather? It is Friday night, so this is technically, you will be seeing this Saturday morning. This is our Saturday sew along. And I hope you're getting to sew along with me on something. Even if it's not this, I hope you're able to get in your sewing room or just enjoy the chit-chatting that we get to do. I know I look like I have no color. I'm sitting here, I can see it in my camera, and I know I look all washed out. Number one, lighting. The lighting is really rough. Number two, I'm tired. So I probably am. I haven't seen the sun in over a week until today. I did see some sun today. Now, I mean, when I'm at work, I can see through the windows and stuff that it's daylight out. But when I go to work, it is dark. And when I get off work, it is dark. So yes, in the wintertime, I have to take that vitamin D. That D3. We got to make sure to have plenty of that. I used to have a brother-in-law that he got cabin fever in the wintertime. He would, and y'all may, a lot of people may not think that's a real thing. It is very real. He would get so depressed in the wintertime. But as soon as it got warm enough to get that boat out on the lake, you could bet your bottom dollar he was going to be at that lake and they were going to be skiing. Because he had to have that sunshine. And friends, we're probably not going to be here very long tonight. Because as I said, I still have to go to work tomorrow. I was given the option of not working. But if my guys are working, I need to be working because I need to make sure their time is right. And I need to make sure we have inventory on hand for my guys. Unless they're on a call out, I'm going to be with them. Or I'm going to be at the office, not with them. I'm going to be at the office to make sure. Because I don't want to come in on Monday, which is payroll Monday, and find that I have some surprises that I need to fix. We are off on Sunday, though. And that is definitely going to have to be a day for me to rest. I have a lot that I need to get done in my house. I have some food that was semi-thawed, so I'm going to try to cook that up before, I know it's refreezing, so I'm just going to go in and cook it up real quick, all of it, and then freeze it in the hopes to keep it good, to not lose it. That's one of the things, if you have food that's thawing out in your freezer during an ice storm, cook it up and then package it back and refreeze it. Or you can it. I don't like canning patty sausage. That's the main thing I'm worried I didn't want to lose was the patty sausage, and that was the only thing in that freezer that really started thawing or thawed out. So actually, when I get done doing this tonight, I will be cooking up that sausage, and it's actually probably about 8 o'clock now. I don't have my watch on, so I don't know. I didn't even look at the clock when I got on here. The only thing I can tell you is how long I've been on here. 8 minutes. Not very long, not very long. But what I'm doing right now is I am making my X and O block. And I will be making another heart block here in just a moment. Okay, friends, here is our X and O block. So now to get to my other heart block. Now, I will use my other heart block as a guide because this block right here is going to be in the center. And this block right here is going to be on the bottom left. So what I'm going to do is lay the pieces out on my table, how I need to sew them together. I do have my board right here, but it is currently holding my other blocks, so I'm not using that one. So I'm going to lay them out on my table real quick. Okay, I've got them laid out. And I just noticed you really can't see my sewing machine. What I'll do is just move you away a little further. Maybe that is better. So I had already gotten this top row started. And what I'm going to do is going to get it finished. And then we will start on the first two pieces of our next row. And then our last row. I'll do the first two pieces of each. But I figured since I already had this one started, we would go on and finish this one. Now we're starting the second row. And I am lining up those seams, making sure they're not going to nest, but I can line up those seams and pin them. And friends, I hope you are all able to be sewing today. I hope, now as I said, this is Friday, and the other storm is rolling through tonight. And I'm not exactly sure what it's supposed to do in our area. I haven't watched it because I knew I was working anyway, so I didn't watch it. We know we're having to work right now, so to me, I haven't really watched it. I don't know exactly what we're going to be getting. I was kind of told we're just going to get really, really cold weather and some high winds. Well, we really can't afford the high winds right now because we still have trees losing limbs from the ice and everything, and I'm not too worried about losing a limb on my house, but I have a tree behind my house that if the wind gets high enough and blows it from the north, it could probably knock that tree down. That tree has only limbs it has in it, I think, are on the house side, which is not good. You don't want the heavy side to be the side your house is on. I mean, the cold temperatures we can handle as long as we don't lose power and don't lose water, which I'm on, we call it city water, but it's our little area that we live in. We have our little water company here, and I'm on their water. So even if we lose power, we still have water. And my husband and I have been talking about things that could work. And I'd completely forgotten about something we had seen years ago, but he remembered it, I guess. And he was showing it to me last night when we had gone to get a bite to eat. Because I'm working 12 hours right now, guys, so I'm not cooking. And it's a wood-burning furnace that hooks to your house and heats your water and heats your house. I'm fair game for this. I'm all up for that. I'm willing to see what in the world happened there. That looks like that whole thing come undone. Well, it looks like I need to sew that back. It's crazy way down there. But I had remembered looking at this years ago. And he wasn't interested in it, but now he is. And that's okay. You know, it can be his idea. I'm fine with that. But my thought now is, who's going to feed that thing? Okay, guys, that's my center array there. One moment, I will have these pressed, and I'll be right back. Okay, friends, I now have my first 2 rows that I'm putting together. Trying to think if there's anything that there's so much that's happened, and so many things that I don't know that I've told you or not. I know I had mentioned about the scam that happened on eBay. I'm not really sure it's a scam now. I think it is someone that thought they could drop ship these items. And I will tell you, I got some best press for a super deal. I got 2 gallons for like $53, $54. If you buy best press, you know how good of a deal that is. Because normally 1 gallon is almost that amount. This person, whoever it is, I don't know what they were thinking. But I got 1 gallon was shipped from Missouri Star. I've got one from a company, and I showed y'all that in my Happy Mail. And I got a call today, and the lady asked me about it. She said, well, we got a fraud alert because the addresses were different. And I just explained to her what happened. I said, I think they're trying to do this like a drop ship, but they had put my name with their mailing address, I guess. I don't know. But I guess the card was getting a fraud detection on it because the name was different. And I told her, I said, I think that's what they're trying to do, and or either their stock was empty and they hadn't taken the listing down yet. But she was like, well, we'll go in and send this out to you. So I'm going to get 3 extra 16-ounce best presses. So I'll have like a whole bottle that more than what I needed or should have gotten. So I guess it's just to kind of make me happy for the trouble, because I did pay for this January 2nd. If that's how they want to do things, that's how they can do things. As long as I get my 2 gallons, I'm happy. I don't need an ounce more. But if they want to send it, they're more than welcome to. But I know the 6 bottles of Best Press that they sent was $80, guys. $80 for the 6 that y'all saw in the Happy Mail. So that was already way more than what I had paid. I mean, I kind of feel bad for them, but, you know, that's kind of what happens when you don't stay on top of your business. They could have canceled the order easily, but they didn't. And now when I go and look at this seller online, they have like boots listed. And I'm like, well, how in the world did they have stock of Best Press? So that's why I think it's a drop ship company. When I looked at the information about where they're located, it says USA based. But when you drill into the seller, they're from Thailand. So I was like, oh, yeah, this probably is a scam. But as long as I get what I paid for, and I paid for 2 Best Presses at the price they had it listed at, I'm happy. So it may not be a scam after all. And it has my phone number. So if on the sales, everything. So I'm just hoping it don't come to bite me in the back end. Because I already, you know, paid for it. And I'm hoping it's not like one of those stolen credit card things. I hope that's not what it is. I tell you, so many things I get every day about somebody trying to sign into my accounts, and it has just gotten crazy. That's why you need that 2-factor authentication, and I have that. Okay, guys, so we've been in this for 32 minutes right now. I'm going to go on and press and show you my last block here. We will have all 3 of our blocks made, and we'll try to assemble them as well. Okay, friends, here's our other block here. So I'm thinking I want that dark one on the outside. This one right here, I want this block on the outside just to kind of anchor it. So let's get our O block. Now, I don't think any of this is actually going to nest, but I do think right there we have a seam. We have 2 seams come together, but they're not, one's at an angle and one is straight. And I think that's going to be it. So I'm going to pin the beginning, the end, and make sure the middle is also centered. And friends, I don't know why I'm always telling you what I'm doing, because this is not a tutorial by any means. It's a sew along. Because if you need a tutorial, I'm probably not the one to watch. But I so enjoy sewing. I do my best to show you what I'm doing, even though I need to have a camera over the top of me. But this is just about just as good. I am just thinking about this. I need to check on my oldest daughter. Where she lives, they got hit pretty hard with all the weather. Now, I'm pretty certain she stayed put. Until, you know, things were travelable. I guess that's what it's going to be called, travelable. We had such a mess going on here, I have not called her and checked on her, which I've talked to my other 2. My son and my daughter-in-law, I've talked to them several times. And my youngest daughter, I talk to her every day. She calls when she gets off work. And today, I think they were able to get their last load moved out of the house. My husband helped them. he went over there and he was telling me that their landlord's boyfriend had gone to try to cut. They had a tree down. Yeah, I'm going to have to flip this because I've got a mismatch of edges here. Every now and then I have one edge that doesn't match the other. You know, it may be a little shorter or something. I always try to make it match. But this one's got a pretty considerable difference there. But anyway, the boyfriend tried to cut the tree. And he couldn't get it. He said it was like cutting rocks. And I actually think it was a bodock tree. And bodock trees, awful to cut. They're like trying to cut through concrete. Okay, this one here, we're going to have to adjust a little bit. We're going to have to give it a little bit of, it can't be more than 1/4 of an inch because I can't make that work. But we almost have our table runner complete. Yay, yay. I do still have, I think those are like borders. And I'll kind of do the borders on my own. I know they weren't sashings. Let me look and see. Yeah, it looks like they're, doggone it, they were sashings. Well, let me just stop this right here. So, friends, we're just going to end it here. It's late. I'm tired. I've got to get to bed because I got work at 6 in the morning. So, I can take these pins out and we will work sashings at a later date. But this is what we're looking at. I need to take these apart now. But yeah, it does need that sashing. I was going to say if it looks good, we'll just leave it like that. But no, it does need the sashings. So, friends, thank you for joining me today. I hope you have a lovely weekend. Give me a thumbs up before you head out. If you have not yet subscribed, please do make sure to click that notification bell. Also, so you don't miss a single thing that we have going on, check back Monday in the updates. I will have our Sew Along Saturday pattern released. I will tell you which one it is. We will start it the first Saturday of March. So, guys, thank you so much for joining once again. Feel free to leave a comment. Tell me what you think. I do try to respond to each and every comment personally. And as always, until I see you again, I hope you have a very blessed day. Bye, friends.